Hey, I'm Anthony Romano, and I'm going to tell you in this video the rumors about fat fasting and basically squashing all the misinformation about fat fasting. So if you've seen my other videos, I explain the basics of fat fasting. The short version is you're only consuming fats because that will help you to remain in the fasted state, and essentially that can be a tool to break through weight loss plateaus. It's a great way to make fasting for prolonged times easier. And you can access a little bit of autophagy through fat fasting, which is basically cellular cleansing. And the reason why it works is because you're only consuming fat, so you're still able to consume energy, which minimizes these sort of hunger signals you're going to receive. Yet you're fasting, but you're not as hungry, okay? And you still get to give yourself the satisfaction of perhaps eating some foods, provided they're only fat. Now, I'm going to explain more of the rumors here and the misinformation and help you understand fat fasting better so you can use it immediately to either enhance weight loss plateaus, break through them, get a little bit more cellular cleansing and detoxification benefits from keto and from fasting in general, and overall some other ways to help you implement this in a balanced manner. Okay, before we get into this though, if you could like the video, that will make YouTube show my content to more people, and that's all you have to do to help me grow my page. Let's get into the video. Okay, so fat fasting. For starters, the number one rule of fat fasting is only consume pure fats. Now, a lot of the misinformation on this topic comes from people who are twisting the work from Atkins. Basically, they treat fat fasting as if it is a low-calorie, high-fat diet. That's what they treat it like. When in reality, fat fasting is consuming purely fats. Calorie amount is always going to be very minimal, but it's to mimic the fasted state. It is not, which, don't get me wrong, ketogenic diets technically do mimic the fasted state. But when we're talking a pure fast of nothing, you are going to be achieving autophagy, and which is cellular cleansing, and you are going to be experiencing metabolic changes that make you less hungry. Because after fasting for a day or so, your body's going to get the message, hey, we're fasting here, your blood sugar is going to be more stable, your insulin's going to be more stable, you're not going to be hungry. Now, the benefit that fasting with fats only, so fat fasting provides, is that you get to minimize this hunger signals that your body reacts to if there's no food coming in. So when somebody's first starting a fast, it may be wiser for them to consume fats only to ease into it, to make it easier to fast, and, maybe by proxy of doing that, you achieve some extra fat loss results and you break through a fat loss plateau. Or maybe you've never fasted before and you want to make it easier and you want to achieve autophagy and some cellular cleansing, and you want to get it deeper than simple keto dieting will achieve. So the way to do that is by fat fasting. Now, some people, the main misinformation comes from people saying, oh, you can eat cheese, you can eat, eggs on a fat fast. You cannot eat those foods on a fat fast. The whole point of fat fasting is that you do not want to trigger digestion in your stomach. And if you consume proteins or any sort of minimal amount of carb, that is like, in cheese, for example, lactose, your body's going to release enzymes in your stomach that trigger digestion and make your body think it's in a fed state. The whole point of fat fasting is tricking your body into thinking that it's in a fasted state, not a fed one. So here's the problem. If you were consuming a little bit of cheese, and the lactose and proteins that come with it, you are going to be telling your body, hey, we're in a fed state, just we're severely calorie deprived. Now, that's the starting point here. Keep in mind, ketogenic dieting technically does mimic the fasted state. They're the same state. If you're not consuming carbs, that's what's required to be in ketosis, not high fat necessarily. Now, if somebody is not eating anything, you're not consuming carbohydrates, so you're in a deeper keto state. And on a keto state, you will achieve some extra higher upregulation of autophagy, right? Especially if you're newer, and you will absolutely achieve similar hormonal reactions to the full-on fasted state. But the point is, using fat fasting as a tool to break through fat loss plateaus is something where, if you want to use it properly, you have to have only fats. It is not simply a high-fat, low-calorie diet where you're consuming eggs, but only 7 of them for the whole day, and that's your whole day. You're just simply going to be on a severely calorie restricted keto diet, and it'd be far better for you to keep your body in a fed state and just gradually lower the calories that way. Now, the main problem here is that I'm going to explain a little evolutionary example here. If somebody is doing a 700 calorie a day diet of only eggs. Like I said, that is a low calorie but ketogenic diet. So your body is going to make you hungrier because it thinks it's being fed and it's telling you, we're eating right now, let's eat some more food. The difference with a fasted state, like a pure fasted state, is that your body downregulates hunger hormones after the first day or so because it realizes that you're fasting. And it's going to fully tap into the resources that you have stored on your body. So your body fat, the nutrients within it. And if you're consuming pure fats, you're giving your body some calories, but you're not triggering digestion in your stomach. So your body thinks that it's in a fasted state, but really you're consuming a little bit of a buffer, a little bit of extra energy. It's training wheels for fasting prolonged. You can still use it intermittently, like an intermittent fast replacement if you're new to that and you find it hard. It's training wheels for intermittent fasting as well. But the point is, it is not, even if you're consuming 500 calories a day from real fat fasting, yes, you will be in low calorie diet and you'll only be consuming a little bit of energy, but you're not going to prevent your body from accessing the true power of the fasted state, the deepest fasted state. There is some debate on this, but it's a marginal, negligible difference. And when we're looking at the main problem here, if somebody is consuming food on a low calorie diet, think about what you're telling your body. You are telling your body, if you're eating food but not eating enough calories, you're telling your body that it is in a severe famine. Now, what are you telling your body if you're not eating anything? Well, you're telling your body there's not a lot of food around, but you're not telling it that you're so afraid that you have to eat anything. If you're eating 500 calories a day from carbs, from protein, what's going to happen is your body's thinking, holy shit, we're in such a big famine that we are grabbing every scarce bit of food that's around. That's what you're telling your body. You're actually telling your body it's a more severe scenario than if you had just given up food altogether. Because think about it. You're telling your body, if you are fasting, we have the ability to fast. You're telling your body, we have an abundance of fuel here. I'm good. You don't need to worry about making me hungry with these hunger hormones because we have fuel here and I'm not that worried about it. If you're like, not saying that your thoughts dictate your hunger hormones, but I'm saying what you're communicating to your body based on your choices. So when you are eating 600 calories a day from carbs, proteins, right? You're basically telling your body that it is in such a severe scenario that you have to grab everything in sight. When you are telling your body that it has abundance of fuel stored, it's not going to make you as hungry because it's not going to perceive as much demand and as much danger. Okay, it's going to be saying, we got plenty of fat to store. We got plenty of fat to go through, baby. We're good. Okay, so you don't need to worry as much and your hormones are going to reflect that. It's going to make you less hungry and sensitive to appetite. So that is what the purpose of a fat fast is supposed to achieve. It's supposed to be training wheels into that scenario. And granted, it is not something you have to do. It depends how long you do it. If you do it intermittently, it's a great way to break into intermittent fasting. If you are somebody who is, on a short timeline, yeah, it could be a really powerful strategy. If somebody's going to do a fast 4 or 5 days and they want to do it fat fast style, that's a great way to do it. However, if somebody were to do a high fat diet with low calories, so 700 calories of eggs, and then you do that for 5 days, congrats on telling your body that it has to hang on to all the fat possible, because you're telling your body there's so little food around. I don't have the ability to fast, and I've been eating 500 calories worth of food every day. So clearly, we have to take metabolic adaptations here to make you hold on to fat, so that because there's such little food and energy around, that we have to make sure we downregulate your metabolism, make you more hungry, make you store more body fat from the little amount of food you're eating, and it's basically ruining the whole scenario because you took it too far. Okay? Now, remember, fat fasting requires only pure fats, so oils are the best. A little bit of avocado could be fine. Macadamia nuts is pushing it, but if you're doing intermittent fasting style and you're doing fat fasting, you can be much more liberal with this. You can consume purely fats and proteins if you're doing this intermittent fasting style and you're a complete newbie. Granted, you're not going to be technically in the fasted state or the deep end of the pool where you're experiencing more autophagy, but you are going to be lowering your insulin and making hunger disappear. So you just have to realize that fat fasting is for people who are getting very aggressive, and when you're doing it for 20 hours or multiple days, that is where you have to be very strict, because if you're doing it any time span shorter than that, then you're not going to encounter any problems. But if you're doing this for a long period of time, then it's a powerful fat loss tool. Then it's a tool that can help you really progress past a plateau. It is not the most powerful thing because it is not necessarily the first choice. It is sort of training wheels for getting into some of these more advanced strategies. So, because example, pure fasting is going to result in, pure intermittent fasting is going to be easier for fat loss. But if you can't do that, then it's very powerful, okay? On that note, eating food and just simply having a moderate calorie adjustment and, diminishing the fats a bit is going to lead to more, aggressive fat loss. But this is a tool that you can take a couple days aside for to really double down on the weight loss results. So hopefully I explained this in an appropriate way for you. If you liked it, like the video. That will make YouTube show my content to more people. That's all you have to do to help me. On that note, go to my website for consults, coaching, programs, free guides. I'm telling you, go to my website and keep your eyes on it because I'm going to be dropping a lot of new content on there that's going to help you out a lot. Thank you for watching. I'm Anthony Romano. Peace.